Hello, and welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all Illinois students, sponsored by the Illinois Association for College Admission Counseling and StriveScan. My name is Kristen Guido. I'm an Associate Director of Admission at North Central College in Naperville, Illinois, and I'm very happy to be facilitating this session for you all today. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions for our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. And this is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at IACAC.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website, IACAC.org. And now I'd like to turn it over to our presenters. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. We are very excited to welcome you to our presentation on the advantages of studying at the premier independent universities in Florida. We can't wait to share some information with you regarding our 4 schools. So right now, let's get to the introductions.
Hey, good morning, everybody, or good afternoon. My name is Brandon Oliver, and I'm an admissions counselor from Eckerd College, and I work with students coming from the Midwest territory. So I'm excited for you all to get to learn a little bit more about all of us today.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anna, and I'm an undergraduate admissions counselor at Florida Southern College. I also work with students all over the Midwest, so thanks for having us, and I'm glad to be here.
And my name is Nick Galley. I'm representing Florida Tech. I'm an undergraduate admission counselor there. My territories are the Great Lakes states and Georgia, and I'm really happy. Can't wait to meet you guys.
And last but not least, my name is Justin Lubor. I'm the Senior Assistant Director of Admission here at Lynn University in Boca Raton, Florida. Been with Lynn for a little over 4 years, and I work with students from all of Illinois and then New York as well, and looking forward to hopefully meeting some of you someday soon.
Okay, so we're going to get right into it, and our contact information again will be at the very end, and we'll take some of your questions. So overall, the biggest advantage of studying at the independent universities in Florida is that we are focused on you as the student. We are structured to offer small class sizes, low student faculty ratios. We provide an individual, personalized approach to a high quality and highly engaged learning experience. We value experiential learning, which means you will learn by doing, by engaging, and by applying, and sometimes as soon as your first year on our campuses. We are also focused on providing high quality research opportunities for our undergraduate students. Unlike some other universities that focus on grad students or doctoral candidates, we focus on undergraduate students to work with our faculty and conduct research. Our universities are also focused on offering the most in-demand programs that you may be interested in and in areas that are growing exponentially. Employers are going to be looking to you as the future of their organization. From biological science research to education to health professions like physical therapy to computer science and aviation, there really is something for everyone at our schools.
And besides being in beautiful South Florida, surrounded by all the beaches, studying at our schools also means that you have easy access to Florida's variety of rich and diverse industries for professional experiences. Florida is ranked 5th in the nation for high-tech employment and is home to 15 Fortune 500 companies. Our students are able to pursue internships and career opportunities in fields like aerospace and aviation and financial and health professional services. From biological science research to education to health professions like physical therapy to computer science, there again is really something for everyone at one of our schools. Our high quality academics and internship opportunities work together to prepare you for what's to come after graduation, whether that's landing your dream job and getting accepted to graduate or professional programs.
And on that note, we are proud that a combined 92% of our students are gainfully employed, serving in the military or continuing their education at the graduate, professional, or doctoral level within 1 year after graduation. And as independent schools in the state of Florida, we are dedicated to making our education affordable for our students too. And I know that affordability might not always be the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the words independent or private school, but all of our schools do offer scholarships and financial aid opportunities that help make affordability a reality for you and your family. And additionally, the vast majority of our graduates earn their bachelor's degree in 4 years or less, which allows you to spend less on your education. In fact, recent data shows that students nationwide are graduating from college in 5 to 6 years on average, and this can end up costing you up to 40% more on your college education. That's not a financial burden that we want to put on our students if we don't have to. So much so, that our students are awarded, or we have awarded over $200 million in scholarships and grants combined, and that was just last year.
All right, and lastly, we just want to talk on, in general, why study in Florida. And so, as the other presenters already noted, a few really great examples, but one of the most things that stands out is that we offer a quality education. And so Florida's independent universities are among the nation's top performers. And as you'll see, our different colleges and universities range in different size and structure, and even academic programs that can be found here. So Florida as a state is pretty diverse, and depending on what city or region you go to, you're going to have a different community, a different feeling to it. And so the same can be said about the independent universities here today. Secondly, great resources for employment. Florida ranks 5th in the nation for high-tech employment and is home to 15 Fortune 500 companies. So there's a lot of different variety when it comes to opportunities to seek employment. The industries range from aerospace to aviation to financial and even health professional services. So again, a lot of variety, a lot of diversity in the field of employment. And so no matter what your interests are, there's definitely a route for you to take here at one of our schools to achieve whatever career goals you're aspiring to have. Third is for affordability reasons. We just kind of briefly touched on how there are so many different ways to finance your education here. Because we are private institutions, there are a ton of different scholarships and aid and grants out there that we do give out. And so it's definitely a top priority for us to make sure that you can afford the college that you want to go to. And lastly, of course, Florida does have the perfect climate. And so Florida is all around just a really great state as far as not only for academics and for graduate school employment, but there's a ton of really great recreational activities to partake in here, and the enjoyable average annual high temperature of 80 degrees. And of course, the beautiful beaches, Disney World, everything. So yeah, we're gonna get right into the individual school presentations now, starting with the college that I'm here to represent, Eckerd. And so right off the bat, something that people tend to notice about Eckerd is our beautiful location on the Gulf of Mexico. We're located in St. Petersburg, Florida. And I can honestly say that Eckerd is one of the most beautiful college campuses that I've ever set foot on. And we are currently doing tours. So if you'd like to come and pay us a visit, that can definitely be set up by our visit coordinator. And so one of the things that make Eckerd a unique place to come and study is that we have students from all across the United States. And even though we're located in Florida, the majority of our students do come from outside of the state. Around 80% of our students actually do come from outside of Florida. So yeah, it's a diverse student body, as well as faculty and staff that are really open-minded and really adventurous. And so students who are looking to get a little bit out of their comfort zone and be exposed to something new that they really haven't had the chance to study or partake in before really do well coming here. And something a little bit different about our academic calendar is that we have a 414 academic calendar. It's not really a semester-based system, so students will take 4 courses in the fall and four courses in the spring, and then in between there, students will have a winter term where they'll take 1 course. And this schedule really allows for students to benefit from doing study abroad or partaking in a class that's not necessarily in their major program. So the schedule provides a lot of flexibility that allows students to really tailor their courses and their program to fit what's best for them. Something else that's quite unique that we do for our first year students is what's called autumn term. So before fall term, this is just for first year incoming students. We'll have autumn term, which is an extended orientation, which really helps students with the transition from high school to college. So college is kind of a different world of its own. And so to help with that transition, we have autumn term where students will come to campus for 3 weeks and take an academic course, and they'll participate in campus activities and even a community service project, and also meet with their faculty mentor, which is really great because all of our students are paired with a faculty mentor that serves as a great resource for them throughout their time here. All 4 years, they work alongside their faculty mentor to schedule classes, help them decide what major is best for them. And then when it comes time to apply for internships or even apply to a career or graduate school, our faculty mentors really work right alongside the students to help guide them and help them with that process of going on to do what they want to do next. And so this is a brief overview of some of our majors and programs that we offer here at Eckerd. One of our most popular majors being our marine science. But yeah, again, we have a ton of different majors and programs. Students do tend to flock here for the sciences, but a lot of our humanities and social science courses are also quite popular, such as our international studies or our psychology. Even literature is becoming quite popular. And a new program that is quickly becoming a favorite is our animal studies, where students can study the behavior of animals. And it's really interesting. And yeah, like I said, it's quickly becoming quite a popular major for our students. And so as much as we want to stress the importance of academics here, we definitely know that we want our students to enjoy where they're going to be living at for their next 4 years. And so we have a ton of campus life activities and programs for our students to get involved in. Even if students want to have a nice relaxing time, de-stress, they can step onto an amazing beach right here on campus. So you don't even have to leave campus to enjoy beautiful white sands and the nice clear waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Another fun fact about our campus is that Eckerd has been rated the #1 most pet-friendly college campus in the United States. So if you're an animal lover, you can bring your small dog or cat down to campus with you. But we also allow animals such as snakes and iguanas and even parrots on our campus. So it's a wide variety of different options for the students. As well, I want to touch on a little bit more about our waterfront. So not only is it great for recreational purposes, students being able to rent out kayaks and canoes and sailboats, but it also serves an academic purpose as well. A lot of our students will have research opportunities, especially our marine science students. So if they want to go out and take samples from the Gulf and participate in research with the marine animals, it's really a hands-on learning experience for them. And thirdly, our students can volunteer. They can be a part of our maritime search and rescue team. And so that's a really great opportunity for students to give back to the community and respond to emergencies in the Tampa Bay area. And again, it's a really great community, not a way to give back to the community, but also a way to help develop skills that they can carry with them throughout the rest of their time. And so now we're going to talk about a little bit about the application requirements and the admissions process. So you can apply through the common application or through our website at Eckerd. And when you apply, you just need to submit your official high school transcripts and a letter of recommendation from an academic source. And we will be test optional for 2021 and 2022 admissions process. So you don't need to submit your test scores if you're unable to. Right now, we do have an early action deadline of November 15th. So if you submit all your materials before then, you're guaranteed your decision by December 15th. And it's a non-binding decision. And it's just a great way to know what your options are before the holidays. And also, if you apply by that deadline, you don't have to pay the application fee. And if you'd like to learn more about Eckerd, you can check us out in The Colleges That Change Lives. It's a great publication that highlights some innovative and progressive colleges around the United States. So as you're continuing your college search, could be a great resource for you. And again, if you all like to reach out, my information will be at the end. Thank you.
Awesome. So just a reminder, my name is Anna and I'm an undergraduate admissions counselor with Florida Southern College. And just to get started with some basic information, Florida Southern College is located right in between Tampa and Orlando in Lakeland, Florida. We were founded in 1883, which makes us one of the oldest private colleges in the state of Florida. We're home to about 3,000 total students, 60% of which are from the state of Florida and 40% are from out of state, representing nearly all 50 states and 50 foreign countries as well. Here at Florida Southern, we have over 70 programs of study, as well as 16 pre-professional tracks. But our most popular majors are biology, marine biology, our direct entry nursing program, business, music, theater, and exercise science. We are a liberal arts college at our core, so you're going to get a well-rounded degree no matter what you major in. And regardless of what you major in, we do emphasize an engaged experiential learning, which basically means that you will be an active participant in your classroom. So we really do believe in the power of learning by doing and immersing our students in their field as soon as possible. We're able to offer this engaged learning experience in part because of our small class sizes. So the average class size is 18 students and our student to faculty ratio is 14:1. And all of our classes are taught by professors themselves. So we don't have any graduate students leading courses. And this is just to ensure that you're learning from experts in your field at all times. As an extension of our engaged learning experience, we do offer these three guarantees for our students. So the first guarantee that I'd like to highlight is that travel study option. So we do guarantee this through our junior journey program, which is a 7 to 10 day trip over school breaks in either your junior or senior year. You do go with a professor, so there is an academic component to it, but you get to do a lot of fun stuff on the side as well. You also get course credits for these trips, but the best part about these trips is that they are at little to no additional cost to our students. There are both domestic and international trip options, and you can go on a trip that isn't affiliated with your major since they don't take any time away from your class schedule. We also guarantee internships to all of our students regardless of major. This is super important because 95% of employers are looking for new hires with experience, and an internship allows you to be a competitive applicant and candidate once you enter the job market. And students have the option to do internships locally during the school year or go closer to home for internships during the school breaks as well. That last guarantee is to graduate in 4 years or less. And I know this sounds super self-explanatory because a 4-year major should take 4 years to complete. But like I said earlier, data is suggesting that it's taking students 5 to 6 years to graduate with their bachelor's degree, which is totally fine if you need to take that extra time. But again, it does cost you more on your education and it's not a burden that we want to put on our students. So we are able to guarantee this because kind of in addition to everything that I've already shared, students are also paired with an academic advisor in their field of study, and they typically tend to be a professor. So someone that you've already had as a professor also gets to mentor you outside of the classroom. Students meet with their advisors several times per year to make sure that they're staying on track for graduation. And we're also very transfer credit friendly, so you may be able to come into college with some college credits under your belt already. So to kind of summarize everything that I've shared so far, these academic opportunities are incredibly important because they translate into post-graduation success. And 97% of our students report achieving their post-graduation goals within 1 year after graduating from Florida Southern, whether that's graduate school, getting a job, different things like that. And a third of our students do go on to some kind of graduate or professional program, and the remaining 2/3 enter the workforce. And then, I know academics and outcomes are definitely an important part of your college experience, but I also want to highlight student life because Florida Southern does pride itself on being a true campus community. In fact, we do require students to live on campus for all 4 years, meaning that you're guaranteed to have housing on campus for all 4 years. We have 16 housing options, including on-campus dorms, as well as apartment complexes located near campus that are set aside for upperclassmen. And 93% of our first-year students do choose to live on campus, and that number stays relatively the same throughout the 4 years. Aside from housing, we do have 20 NCAA Division II athletic teams. We are the Florida Southern Moccasins, and that is the snake, not the shoe. The shoe wouldn't be that intimidating. But we have 30 national championships among these teams, so we're a very winning program. We also have several opportunities to participate in sports at the club and intramural levels as well. We also have over 100 student clubs and organizations, ranging anywhere from Greek life and campus ministries to special interest clubs and organizations like our CAC club. So basically, I mean, there are a ton of ways to get involved, connect with other students, and show your school spirit as well. So now that I've kind of shared all about Florida Southern, let's definitely talk about how to officially become a Florida Southern Moccasin. And first and foremost, regardless of when you apply, it's 100% totally free to apply to Florida Southern. And that's also regardless of how you do so. So our application is available on our website, as well as Common Application and Coalition. And in addition to your application, we also need your high school transcript and a personal statement. You can also choose to send test scores and a letter of recommendation from a teacher or guidance counselor if you'd like, but both of those admissions require, those application items are optional this year. And again, we are test optional, so if you have your ACT or SAT scores, you're definitely able to send those in, but it's not a requirement in order to be considered for both admission or scholarship. Something else that's important to note is that you can send in these materials one at a time as they become available. So you don't need to worry about submitting everything all at once. And we are on rolling admission. So once we receive all of your documents, you'll get a decision within 3 to 6 weeks. And finally, I mean, I know that the cost of college can be super overwhelming. So every application is automatically considered for an academic-based scholarship. But we also strongly encourage all of our students to file the FAFSA, and that just opened on October 1st. And this is so that you can be considered for federal, state, and any kind of additional aid as well. And then some departments on campus also offer specific scholarships based on audition, portfolio review, interview, or athletic recruitment. And we also accept scholarships and outside scholarships and college savings plans. So there are a ton of ways that you can earn financial aid and stack it on top of the academic-based scholarship you'd already be receiving. Yeah, so now I'm going to hand it over to Nick.
Okay, thank you, Anna. Again, my name is Nick. I'm representing Florida Tech, and Florida Tech is a school that's been around since the late 1950s. The purpose of our school was to give academic and intellectual aid to the Space Center. So you can see our location here on the map of that little circle on the East Coast, great location for launching rockets and flying planes and all of the marine sciences that we have. But there's also a high-tech corridor that goes all the way from Orlando up to the Space Center, and a lot of those high-tech companies are coming in, and that's a great benefit for our students, and I'll talk about that later on. You can see the size of the school is relatively small to mid-range school. We have about 3,500 undergrad students. When you factor in the 2,000 or so grad students, we're just over 5,000. We have just under 200 total offerings for all of our degree programs. And the diversity of the school, all 50 states are represented in just over 100 countries. So we have a very nice diverse student body. The pictures in the background, by the way, are our L3 Harris building. So you can see in the background, you see that dome, and that's our telescope building. So if we'll go to the next slide, I'll show you an up close picture of that. There you go. Under the Florida Tech umbrella, we have 4 colleges. The College of Aeronautics has a world-class flight line with over 30 aircraft. So if you're interested in aviation or flight, we're trying to fill the void and the need that exists in the world because of the lack of pilots as they retire and phase into and transition to other areas of their career. We need pilots. The world needs pilots as all these new planes are coming online. So we are trying to accomplish that. Our College of Business, many of our students, they diversify their degrees and they'll take on a grad degree. So we have a whole College of Business, which is a real nice variety of degrees there. Our College of Psychology and Liberal Arts, forensic psychology, criminal justice, etc. We also have a Scott Center for Autism Research on our campus to give back to the community, and it's been very successful. And then lastly, we have that College of Engineering and Science. So 75% of the students that come to Florida Tech are in the STEM, and we're known as the STEM University of Florida. So 75% of our students are in that College of Engineering and Science. Interesting thing about our school is once you get accepted into the school, you get accepted into that degree program, your major. And so you will be taking classes in your major from the very first semester, okay? You'll also be taking classes like calculus and if you haven't already taken calculus and chemistry. So again, really pushing that the math and science. So for the application point, we need to see 4 years of math and 4 years of science for all of those STEM students. This next one, remember I told you about that corridor from Orlando all the way up to the Space Center. So because tax benefits and a whole lot of tech companies that are here or they're moving on down, Northrop Grumman, Lockheed Martin, GE, there's tons and tons of them. And I told you about the L3 Harris connection that we have. That enables our students to focus on internships and co-ops with a lot of companies across the nation or around the world, but particularly those high tech, because again, those STEM students want to go into those high tech industries. And so it's very possible that many of our students would, through those internships, actually get their first high paying job. So very successful at that. You also see the fast track. Interesting thing about our students is a full-time student is one who takes 12 credits to 19. So if you have some advanced credits coming in, some dual enrolled, you may want to graduate early. You can see you can graduate in 3 years. I know Anna said that it's average. Some people graduate in 5 to 6 years, and that the stats show that out. Our students coming in with those advanced classes, sometimes they want to get out early and they have the opportunity to do that, or they want to stay the course and do it in 4 years, or they can pick up advanced degrees too and get a master's in 4 or 5 years. So we have a fast track program in which they can take 6 credits or 2 classes in their senior year and it'll count for their undergrad and their grad. So we have some programs like that. So you work your butt off in high school and this is where you get rewarded. So it's just a little throwback to those of you that work really hard. Our seniors, especially our seniors in the senior designs, in the design STEM programs, have a design project due. It's usually April. So Northrop Grumman sponsors this extravaganza every April, and we have our students creating these really sophisticated and intricate projects. You can see some of them here. You can see some marine robots here, but there's also aviation, there's luggage systems, there's all sorts of things. Again, we mentioned earlier, I think all of us have mentioned, there's lots of hands-on stuff, and our seniors creating these projects actually do go ahead and get hired by companies, sometimes because of these projects. And I had a few instances where I was actually personally involved with that. So lots of opportunities, but also lots of hands-on opportunities to build things yourself if you're so inclined. All of our schools, I think, compete at the Division II level. So we are participating in the Sunshine State Conference. You can see that's D2. So, pretty competitive, academically inclined conference. We offer 18 sports, 9 for men, 9 for women. And a lot of our students choose to, sometimes they're able to help offset the cost of tuition with some of these scholarships or grants in the athletic realm. So we'll talk more about how we can find financial opportunities along the way. Okay, application process. Unlike the 3 other schools, Florida Tech is not test optional. So we still are at the moment requiring the ACT or the SAT. And I'll talk about this at the very end when I take questions, because I know somebody asked a question earlier, and I'll readdress that at the end. But for our school, there are 3 ingredients to the recipe of how you would get admitted to our school. Number 1, we need an application. It could be a school app, or it can be a Common App or a Common App school. I need a transcript. I don't need your final official transcript, the one that has your graduation date on it, until later. But I do need a transcript, and I do need ACT or SAT scores. Everything else is optional. So if you have an essay or letters of recommendation, I highly recommend you give that to me. From those, I learn a lot about the students, and I sometimes can find ways of, so sometimes you guys are on committees, or you're in events that will garner scholarships or grants. So I can check that off on my box, and our financial aid department can try and find you some additional money. So the more you tell the admission counselors about you, the better off you could be. Can't hurt. So that's part of the application process. Here you see some statistics. We get about 11,000 or so applications a year, of which 60% are admitted. The average weighted GPA hovers around a 3.9. And you can see the mid-range of the SAT and ACT scores. Now, because of that College of Engineering and Science and some of the heavy weight that those students have, some dual enrolled AP IB courses, the College of Aeronautics, the College of Business, and the College of Psychology, sometimes the GPAs, the weighted GPAs are a little bit lower than that. We have different admission criteria for those schools than we do. So for the other schools, maybe it's 3 years of math, 3 years of science, as opposed to the 4 years of math, 4 years of science. Math, ACT, math, ACT, maybe a little different in terms of what we're looking for. So suggestion would be just go out, apply, it doesn't cost anything, wait for our admission financial aid people to get back to you with a financial package. You never know what you might get. You might be really pleasantly surprised. So 95% of our students are in the first year after graduation. They're either in grad school or in their high-paying job or in government service or some form of the military. We have a career services department that helps place. We have career fairs. We have two internship fairs. We have workshops to help people. So just because you graduate from us doesn't mean that we're going to, say goodbye. We're going to help you with that process. Our career service department casts a very wide net. Our alumni are very active and involved in trying to place people or help people and guide them throughout their career. You see a small list here of some of the companies that hire our graduates. The list is really, really extensive, so too much to list here, but this just gives you a little taste for more of the local ones. You will be surprised at how much money is out there. Okay, you can take a look at this. You see that a large portion of our students get some kind of aid, and you can see the average number of what they get. So there's a lot of money out there. We want to help you find it. We know that the more money you get from us, the greater chance you will have of coming here. So we want that to happen. Once you fill out that FAFSA form, and I think all of the reps would say, filling out that FAFSA form is a good thing. Even if you think you may not get any money, you never know. Number one. Number two, it'll allow our financial aid department to go ahead and look for places to find some money for you to maybe offset some of those costs. And one quick thing you see here, more Gold Award, Eagle Scout, Vex Robotics, First Robotics, a lot of scholarships there that you may not know about. Again, that FAFSA form helping with our financial aid. Here we see Julia playing with our unmanned aerial systems. Anybody outside of a 50-mile radius, and I think that you're going to be outside of a 50-mile radius, has to stay in campus housing for the first 2 years. Okay, after that, you can be on your own or you can stay. So it was a pleasure talking to you. I'll wrap it up at the end, but right now I'd like to pass it on to Ryan from Lynn University.
Thanks, Nick. As you mentioned, my name is Justin. I'm from Lynn University, and I'm here. We're located in South Florida in Boca Raton. For those of you who aren't familiar with Boca, it's pretty much right between West Palm Beach and Fort Lauderdale, or about an hour north of Miami. Now, here in Boca, there's actually about 40,000 university students. At Lynn University, we have a little over 3,200 students, but altogether in Boca Raton, there's about 40,000 because there's not only Lynn University, but we also have Florida Atlantic University and Palm Beach State College, which is the community college on the FAU campus. So you're definitely not going to be alone. You're not going to be the only student in the area or anything like that. Obviously, most importantly, of course, we are about 5 minutes from the beach. You literally make a left and a right, and you are right there on our coastline right there. Now, being in South Florida, again, like I was mentioning before, does have its perks. Besides being in Florida, Boca Raton, again, the city that we're located in, Delray Beach, which is just north of us, and then West Palm Beach, we were ranked the 12th fastest growing metro area in the United States, which just means that more and more people are going to be coming to Boca, Delray, West Palm to have jobs. They're bringing all their, companies, the Fortune 500 companies and things like that. They're all coming down here to South Florida. So again, that's only going to benefit you later on. And also, we are the #1 most international when it comes to having student population. The next slide, I'm going to talk about all the different populations that we have, but we're really excited about being international because about 20% of our students come from outside the state of Florida, or sorry, excuse me, come from outside the United States. And when I was mentioning that before, we have 97 nations that are represented. And actually, when you pull onto campus, you actually see all 97 flags flying at all times, as you see in this picture right here. So it's about 25% of our student population at Lynn. And then, so altogether, 25% of our students come from the state of Florida, which means the other 50% come from the 50 other states. But we represent 47 states and territories. So in Illinois is actually one of our fastest growing areas right now. We last year had around 10 to 15 students from the state of Illinois, more specifically the Chicagoland area come. Now at Lynn, there's about 18-to-1 student-teacher ratio. And then, like I was mentioning before, about 2,700 graduate students, but again, 32 altogether. You can go to the next slide. Awesome. Now, one thing that makes us very unique as well is our iPad, learning. Now, when you actually come to campus, you're handed an iPad Pro, and all your books are going to be preloaded onto this with about 20 different apps to choose from as well, including Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint. So everything that you're going to need for presentation, also for all the lectures on campus, you're going to be handed all that right there. And the reason why I bring that up is because it saves you about 97% or about $2,500 a year just on books and supplies being handed this iPad Pro, again, with all your books preloaded onto this. And the fact that the teachers, your professors, they're the ones that actually are the ones that write all the textbooks. So we can actually go in and change it. So everything that's going on with the election, you don't have to buy an updated textbook, for the volume 6 or 7, we can just update it right there on the spot. Now you can see here about 45 different majors to choose from, everything from aviation to sports management and everything in between. Our College of Business is probably one of our most popular colleges here at Lynn. International Business is our #1 most popular major. As you can see, when it comes to our international students, you can understand why. Now, like all the other universities as well, we actually offer something called a 3-year accelerated bachelor's degree. And what I mean by that is you're going to be able to graduate in 3 years with your bachelor's degree. Now, what separates us as well is that it's end up going to save you about $50,000 by doing this, because what you're doing is just adding 1 extra class every semester, and then we're paying for that extra class that you're going to be taking. So for the last 30 credits, we're going to be pretty much fronting the bill for that, which ends up again saving about $50,000. So again, you can literally walk in 3 years with the bachelor's degree, saving you $50,000, and then we also do offer a 1-year master's program as well, if that was something that you're interested in doing too. Now, one of the other unique ideas that we came up with is our dialogues. Now, what the dialogues are is instead of taking the traditional college algebra class or history of civilization class, we offer these dialogue classes, and these are stretched for all 4 years. So instead of just taking it freshman and sophomore year, you're going to be taking these dialogue classes freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, and senior year kind of built into it. So again, like I was mentioning before, instead of taking your college algebra class, you're going to be taking quantitative reasoning. One of those classes is going to be how to do your taxes, how to balance a checkbook, should you rent or mortgage a house, rent or buy a car, real life scenarios that are going to really help you out, not only for us now, but for life, for later on in life. And within these classes, we're going to be teaching you soft skills. Now, soft skills are going to be how to present, how to critical think, how to write. Now, some of those things you might think that, those are built into all the classes, and they are. But again, we're going to stretch these out for all 4 years because, again, with these soft skills, that's what employers are looking for when you're graduating. They want to make sure that you can present in front of a large audience. They want to be able to see that you can present, that you can write, that you can think, and all that kind of stuff as well. And last but not least, of course, we do have athletics as well. We are Division II in the Sunshine Conference, just like everyone else. We do have 25 national championships to our name. And as you can see in this picture on the top right, you can see the iPads in class, obviously pre-COVID. You can see all of our students using all the iPads, and you can see it's not just lecture classes. These are more dialogue, just let's have a conversation. So you are going to be having to learn, do your homework and be ready for the class to be able to discuss everything that was going on. But again, what's really cool is that everything is right there on the iPad. That's all you do to bring to class. Now, as far as the application is of course live. You can apply either the Common App or we do have our own application, whichever one you do prefer. November 15th is our early action deadline. It just means that if you apply before November 15th and get us all of your documents, you're guaranteed a decision before December 15th. So you can't have something before the holidays. And again, it is not binding. Now, we are test optional as well. And one of the things that again makes us kind of unique with our application is it is holistic review. So even if you have a 4.0 and a perfect score, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're getting in. So we do take it holistically. So I am looking at, yes, your GPA, that does come first, but I am looking to see, are you involved in any extracurricular activities? Are you involved in any clubs, any sports? Has your GPA been going up? Has it been going down? So all those little things do take into account. And for me personally, I am the one that does review your application. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me directly, and I'll be able to kind of discuss the next steps for you as well. And also, if you are coming down to South Florida, highly recommend coming and visit all of our campuses. But we do offer tours. We are offering in-person tours right now, lynn.edu/visit. You can go ahead and register. And all of our tours are one-on-one. So it's just going to be you and your family with your tour guide. And then you get to walk around campus and see the beautiful, campus in South Florida as well. So thank you guys so much.
Okay, everybody. Justin, I'm sorry about that mistake you made earlier. So everyone, this has been great. Thank you. I really hope that everybody learned something about our schools. I'd like to answer some of your questions. As you look to see, you can see we'll leave up our contact information. So we have a few minutes left. Earlier on the Q&A, someone asked about do we super score? So as you heard, Florida Tech, we're not test optional, so we're requiring ACT or SAT. We do super score. Guys, I know that you're all test optional, but if somebody does send in their score, their ACT or SAT scores, do you guys super score?
It's Anna from Florida Southern. Yes, we definitely do super score for both admission and scholarship purposes.
And same thing at Lynn University, we do super score for SAT and ACT.
And yeah, for Eckerd, yeah, we are going to be super scoring test scores as well.
Okay, so looks like we're done a little bit early, a few minutes early. If there's anyone to say any last minute comments or anything, but in the meantime, all of our schools, I think it's safe to say all of our schools are open for tours because of social distancing rules with the state and our school policies. We will be more individual, so you'll go out with the tour guide alone. We have some virtual meetings as well. I think you can have virtual meet and greets with all of us if you feel so inclined to do so. So have a great night, everybody. It was a pleasure being with you guys.
All right. Thank you all so much for joining us. When you close this window, there will be a link to a quick 4-question survey. So we would really appreciate you taking the time to provide us some feedback on the event. As a reminder, this is just one of the many sessions that we offer, so feel free to check IACAC.org for future sessions. And in about a week, you will be able to refer back to this recording by going back to that website, IACAC.org. Thank you all for being with us today. We really appreciate your time. Thank you to our fantastic panelists, and everyone have a great evening and be well.